Hey everyone, this is Zach, and today I wanted to sit down and talk about the versatility of Armarouge. Now, when Armarouge was announced, we looked at Armarouge and Sorrel Edge, and we kind of thought Sorrel Edge was going to be the better mon, and Sorrel Edge is still a great mon with Bulk Up and Bitter Blade, being able to boost and get recovery. But it seems like, to me at least, at the amount that I've played, I've seen Armarouge used a lot more, and I think the one thing that's really good about Armarouge is its versatility. So today I'm going to talk about it. If you guys enjoy this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. But anyways, the first way is the way that I'm using Armarouge and the way that Armarouge was first originally started to use, and that's as a Trick Room mon. So with Armarouge, you usually see a Grass Terror type because the Grass type will cover the water weakness, and you are immune to fire with the ability Flash Fire. So you can set up your Trick Room, you can Terra Grass to take hits from water types, and then fire types can't hit you for super effective damage because they'll end up just giving you a boost. We've seen things like Energy Ball, Terra Blast, all things that Armarouge has naturally. The biggest thing you see is Expanding Force, Heat Wave, and Armor Cannon right next to Indeedee. So the one thing that's tricky right now with Armarouge and Indeedee is trying to figure out who is the Trick Room setter, because right now, for those of you who don't know or haven't gotten it yet, like myself, Indeedee and 5-star raids can come with Trick Room. So if you end up getting one that's Psychic Surge with Trick Room, you are in a really good spot because you have two Trick Room setters right next to each other, and your opponent has to decide which one is setting Trick Room, which one are they going to target. At that point, you can just follow me with Indeedee and set Trick Room with Armarouge, or you can attack with Armarouge or Protect and get Trick Room up with Indeedee. Both of these Pokemon are very bulky, especially with Psychic Terrain, usually getting a Psychic Seed boost and just maxing out the defense. Another thing with Armarouge that makes it really good is it's pretty bulky. 85 HP with 100 defense and 80 special defense. Not the best when you're looking at a mon with a ground type weakness, a rock type weakness, and a dark type weakness, but when you terrestrialize into a grass type, you're in a really good position. So the way I've been using this is Heat Wave, Expanding Force. It does get shut down by opposing Armarouges and Wide Guard, but I haven't really come across that yet. Most Armarouges actually don't want to go against other Armarouges, which you could play that to your positive, and Expanding Force is still going to hit. And if you're opposing Armarouge, or if you are wide guarding, you're not attacking with Armarouge, which can be something that your opponent can take advantage of, or you can take advantage of. But Armarouge as a Trick Room setter is really good. Not to mention, you can pair it next to Torkoal. You can terrestrialize Grass, whichever one is more threatened at the time, which I think in this case you would do Armarouge if Armarouge is a Trick Room setter, because you want to make sure that your Armarouge doesn't go down before it sets Trick Room. But the reason why people have been playing this way is because I've seen Lava Plume now instead of Eruption. I think Eruption is probably still used for those full HP Torkoals, but Lava Plume is an 80 power base move that hits all the Pokemon on the field, including Armarouge. Now, usually you don't want to damage your partner Pokemon, but with the Flash Fire ability, Armarouge is able to take advantage and actually get a boost off of Lava Plume. Being in a mode where if you can get Trick Room, you can set it up so Armarouge is getting a Flash Fire boost, Torkoal's doing damage, and then Armarouge is taking care of whatever remains with Expanding Force, Energy Ball, Heat Wave, Armor Cannon. Armor Cannon does have the downside of dropping the special defense and defense by 1, but that's nothing a White Herb can't handle, at least for the first one, that is. And if you're getting boosts, do you really need a second one? And at any point in time, you can switch in Indeedee to get that Psychic Terrain, or even lead the Indeedee and switch in the Torkoal to have that Psychic Terrain on the field. Of course, this does get stopped. If you're going the expanding force route, this does get stopped by 2 dark type mons because they will be immune to expanding force, but you still have a very good set of other moves that you can hit dark type mons with, including Aura Spear. Does not miss and does 80%. So if you are getting a flash fire boost from Torkoal in Trick Room, hey, editing Zach here. I just wanted to note that I wasn't paying attention, and I would like to note that Flash Fire only gives a boost to other fire type moves. So if you are using something like Aura Spear or Expanding Force with Armarouge, you do not take advantage of a Flash Fire boost that you get. Either way, you're still hitting Pokemon pretty hard with a 120 special attack stat. But yeah, this thing's going to do amazing damage, and it takes hits, especially when it terrestrialized to cover its weaknesses. The next one I want to talk about is the Hyper Offense Armarouge. So I've seen this with choice specs. I've also seen this with weakness policy. And what you do is you have your Palafin, and Palafin is always going to flip turn 1 most of the time. I can't tell you if I've ever seen a Palafin not flip turn on turn 1, but that's neither here or there. What you do is you flip turn into Armarouge, get the weakness policy, get the weak armor, so you end up with +2 speed, +2 special attack, and then you switch it in DD to get a super powerful expanding force. And if expanding force isn't going to do the trick, you can always lead with Heat Wave, Armor Cannon, Aura Spear. Any of those moves are going to do amazing damage after the weakness policy boost. I looked into it, and it's a little wonky here, but flip turn is doing 40 to 52%, which is a lot, and this is with 52 EVs and HP. You could build it bulkier, but at +2 speed and +2 special attack, you're now doing crazy amounts of damage. Like, you can't really underestimate Armarouge, no matter what set comes in. And the thing that's tricky about Armarouge, the thing that is really hard to tell, and usually the Palafin is a dead giveaway on the Armarouge set, but with the Trick Room and the Hyper Offense, both times you want the Armarouge. I've even came across, I forget if it was on Showdown or if it was on one of my videos where I played a bunch of matches to get the Master Ball, broke it up into 2 videos, but I forget where I saw it, but I saw an Indeedee in Psychic Terrain side fake out what I thought was a choice specs Armarouge, and the weak armor was able to get it a boost and do destructive damage with expanding force. So Armarouge and Indeedee can be played either way. So when you're looking at team preview, that's something you really want to look out for with the Armarouge. Something that carries Flip Turn or Aqua Jet is somewhat of a giveaway on whether it's Hyper Offense Armarouge or if it's Trick Room Armarouge. But like I said, it can be played either way. The next thing I want to talk about is its supporting capabilities. Armarouge, being a bulky Pokemon, also gets a wide variety of support moves. Now, Ally Switch, they brought down its distribution, and the same thing with Expanding Force. So Armarouge is one of those rare Pokemon now that get both Ally Switch and Expanding Force. So it can do a whole lot. It has the Trick Room itself, so it doesn't need a Trick Room setter with Indeedee. So you can do this whether you have the expanding for the Trick Room Indeedee or not. You can always use the Indeedee as the follow me mon to get the Trick Room up. Wide Guard blocks spread moves, so this can be really good, especially in early metas. Garchomp is super big with Rock Slide and Earthquake. Goldingo Gimme Ghouls evolution, I call it Golden Boy. Its Make It Rain is stopped by Armarouge with Wide Guard. I don't know what Gholdingo you would want to keep in on an Armarouge anyway. It also has Clear Smog, which I did not know until I started this video. Now Torkoal and Armarouge both get access to Clear Smog, so this could actually be pretty good against a Donzo. Leads you turn 1 get Trick Room up, turn 2 Clear Smog to clear away the stat boost unless it is a clear amulet. But even then, you can just Terra Grass and hit it with an energy ball and still do really good damage to it, especially if you are next to a Torkoal with a Lava Plume boost. And then I had to create a second page because it does get a whole lot of support moves. Helping Hand, Taunt, Reflect, and Light Screen. These are all really good things. These ones you're not going to see too common on Armarouge. Mostly what you see is the Trick Room and the Wide Guard, but you have to remember that Armarouge does carry Ally Switch. It is possible. And then the Clear Smog is something that I saw and I thought it was notable to bring up because of Donzo. So why is this important? Armarouge is a really good mon. It has really good bulk. It hits really hard, and it kind of takes the role in different ways of lots of Pokemon. So when you're looking at Armarouge versus Hatterene, Armarouge has more HP, slightly more defense, and slightly less special defense. You can always remedy this with an Assault Vest. An Armarouge, if it gets a Flash Fire boost, or if an Armarouge with a Flash Fire boost is going to hit just as hard as Hatterene would. It has a little bit less special attack than Hatterene, but the fact that you can play Armarouge in and out of Trick Room, you can't do that with Hatterene, not as well. And Hatterene really doesn't want to come out with the metagame right now, because if you've noticed, a lot of things are going Terrestrial Steel due to its defensive capabilities, and a lot of dark type Pokemon are doing really well. Murkrow, Hydreigon. These Pokemon are doing really well, and Hydreigon also usually Terras into a Steel type to cover the Fairy type moves, so that's something that Hatterene doesn't want to deal with. The Hyper Offense one, getting the boost with Palafin or any other Aqua Jet or Flip Turn Pokemon, kind of reminds me a lot of Colossal. Now Colossal still has its place, it still has its gimmicks. You can still use Steam Engine and Weakness Policy, and we've even seen sets that don't actually utilize the Weakness Policy, just utilizing the fact that this can go Terra Grass and it can go Terra Blast and do really good damage right off the rip, especially to a water type Pokemon that wants to try to threaten a Colossal, and the grass type is going to help it. Colossal is not that big of a thing right now because it doesn't have the best special attack, so Dynamax was really helping it out, especially with the chip damage it was getting from its G-Max move. It still hits hard, but like Armarouge is going to be better. Not to mention, if you are trying to do the hyper offense with speed, Armarouge has a higher base speed, so +2 is still going to probably do more than +6. Actually, I want to check that out. So looking here, it seems that Colossal is faster, but when it comes to the terrestrialization, if you want the Weakness Policy, you really can't you can't terrestrialize and activate Weakness Policy at the same time unless you're using like a Choice Scarf Fire move, which could be possible, but at the same time, like, I feel like Armarouge will hit harder with the moves that it gets access to, especially if you can get the Flash Fire boost. One last mon that I think that Armarouge is kind of replacing at the time, especially if you want to go with the support options, is Arcanine. Now Arcanine also has access to Flash Fire, but it really doesn't take advantage of that. What Arcanine is usually used for is an Intimidate mon, and as we've seen with the metagame, Intimidate isn't being used as much because of how common a Clear Smog or a Haze Murkrow is right now, and especially with Clear Amulet stopping stat drops from mons, which you've seen on Pokemon like Garchomp, you've seen on very aggressive hyper offense mons. So Intimidate isn't being used as much, not to mention Inner Focus and other abilities now neutralize Intimidate. So we haven't seen a whole lot of Intimidate because it's been countered pretty well, especially early meta. But Armarouge also gets access to Will-O-Wisp, so it can burn Pokemon as well. So it does a whole lot of what Arcanine wanted to do, and hits harder with its special attack. So if you want to go Heat Wave, Armarouge is going to be better. Armarouge can get the Flash Fire boost, it can get a weak armor boost to go faster than Arcanine, and doesn't have to rely on Flare Blitz, which has recoil. Another thing I wanted to add, that if you are going to do the hyper offense Armarouge set, is that when you switch the Indeedee in, Indeedee can also have heal pulse. So if you are getting quick knockouts, you can use Indeedee to heal Armarouge and basically get rid of all that chip that it took from Palafin. But that's going to be all. I just thought Armarouge is a really cool mon, and I know that it's getting a lot of play and a lot of usage, but I don't think people are really like looking into how versatile and how strong this Pokemon is. And how it can be used in so many different ways and still do them all really well. But what do you think? Which one is your favorite? Do you like Sorrel Edge better still, or are you on the Armarouge train? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Zach. We'll see everyone later.